Good morning or good afternoon. If you guys were here in class yesterday, these were the notes that we took. It was standard form notes. If you didn't take these notes, I would definitely pause the video and make sure you finish the notes. In some classes we finished, in some classes we didn't. And then in one class we even got ahead and we got to like 3 examples. But this is the basics of what I wanted everybody to have. So if you look at my lightsaber, that's where I'm going to be pointing just to review. So this form right here is what we call standard form of quadratics. And so if you change, I'll teach you how to convert like from standard form to vertex form and so on and so forth. But with standard form, you should have the exponents in order from greatest to least. So if you notice the constant, the number that doesn't have any letters is the last thing that we write, the constant. The term that has the x squared is always first, and then the term with just a single x is in the middle. So if it's in order, we would call the numbers in front of the variables, the coefficients, we would call them A, B, and C. So let's go to the example real quick. Here we did this example in every class. My A would be 3, my B would be negative 18, and my C would be positive 7. All right. Now, when we're in standard form, we can't tell what the axis of symmetry is. Remember when we did vertex form, we got like the X and the Y. We got the vertex, and the line of symmetry is always that. I'm just going to do it on the side right here. So when we had a vertex form, like let's say an example, we had like y equals x minus 5 squared plus 2. We would say the vertex is 5, 2, right? And then we would say the axis of symmetry is x equals 5. It's that x-intercept right there. But now we're working backwards. Now I'm giving you an equation or a function in standard form, and then I'm asking you to find the axis of symmetry, and then I'm asking you to find the vertex. So the axis of symmetry, this is the formula, negative b over 2a. Remember when you plug in your numbers to put parentheses. So I'm going to plug in my negative 18, negative times negative 18 is positive 18, and then I'm going to plug in my 3 for my a value, and I have 2 times 3. So I have 18 over 6, which is 3. If you can read here, it says this is the axis of symmetry, but it's also the x-intercept of the vertex, right? So I found, even though I just found one thing, I actually found 2 things. I found the axis of symmetry and where the vertex begins, kind of, because I'm still missing the y-axis, the y-intercept. So in order to find the y-intercept, working backwards, you plug in what you found. So I'm going to plug in this 3 into my original function. And when I plug in, I use parentheses. So I'm going to plug in that 3 everywhere I see the x. When I plug in 3, I end up getting negative 20. So the vertex is the 3 that we found for the axis of symmetry, also negative 20, the y value, where x is 3. So now I have the axis of symmetry and I have the vertex. Now I can start to graph this parabola. But for today, I only want you to practice how to find the axis of symmetry and how to practice finding the y-intercept for the vertex. So this is what your Edulastic is going to be on today. So let's do a few more examples. Okay, so here I want to find the axis of symmetry first. So find axis of symmetry, and then I want to find the vertex. I don't need a comma there. Okay. So just make sure you're writing this down on the second part of your notes. If you need a new paper, get a new paper. So for my axis of symmetry, I need to label what my A is, what my B is, and what my C is. So it's already in order. If you remember, it's in order from greatest to least. The constant is there, the A value, the B value. So let's write that. My A is negative 1 because it's the number in front of the x squared. That's a negative 1. Then my B is negative 2, and my C is negative 4. My formula for my axis of symmetry is x equals negative b over 2a. And when I plug in, I'm going to use parentheses. So I have x equals negative, and I'm going to just put parentheses there for now, 2 with parentheses. And now I'm going to plug in my b value, and my b value is negative 2. And my C, no, not my C value, my A value, which is negative 1. And now at the top, we have -1 times -2. -1 times -2 is +2. And then underneath, I have 2 times -1, which is -2. 2 divided by -2 is -1. So my axis of symmetry is -1, x equals -1, and my vertex is going to be -1 comma something. Now I'm going to work on finding the y-intercept so that I can finish my vertex. So I plug in x equals -1 into my original function, y equals -x squared minus 2x minus 4. So here I'm going to plug in. But first, I'm going to write my function again with parentheses instead of x. Now I'm going to plug in this -1 into those spots. And just be very precise with your negatives and how you input. So here I have -1 squared, and that's just -1 times -1, which is +1. But we still have a negative outside. Just keep that in mind. So I have y equals -1 minus, you can do this already. -2 times -1 is +2 minus 4. Okay, now this -1 right here, -1 times 1 is -1. Plus 2 minus 4. Now we go in order from left to right. -1 plus 1, that's 1. Minus 4. 1 minus 4 is -3. All right, I'm not done yet, okay? All I found was my axis of symmetry and my y-intercept of my vertex. Now, at the end, I have to say, okay, the vertex is -1, -3. So do you see how I have my axis of symmetry? And now I have my vertex. Your Edulastic is going to have a lot of questions on this. Vertex and axis of symmetry. We're going to do one more example. All right, so here you're going to find the axis of symmetry again and the vertex. So let's get our A, our B value, and our C value. My A value is 1. My B value is -6. My C value is 7. I would pause the video right now, try to find the axis of symmetry, try to find the vertex, and then see if you get it right, because I'm going to go a little quickly on this example. So my formula for axis of symmetry is x equals -b all over 2a. Sorry, I don't need to put parentheses. I don't know why I put that. I put parentheses when I plug in. Okay? So now I'm going to plug in my b and my a. X equals negative something over 2 something. And let's plug in -6 and then 1. -1 times -6 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. X is 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So the axis of symmetry is x equals 3. And the vertex, we have the first point, 3 comma, we don't know the second one. So let's plug in this into y equals x squared minus 6x plus 7. Let's plug it in. Y equals something squared minus 6 times something plus 7. And that something is 3. So now we have y equals 3 squared, which is 9, minus 18, because 6 times 3 is 18, plus 7. Order of operations, y equals 9 minus 8, that's -9, plus 7. -9 plus 7 is -2. Okay, so my vertex is 3, -2. And that's it.